Mbaniriza ku the music zone nze Selector Williams live Uganda and wano ku CRK Planet bwentuddeko mu studio ya bagiyita Air Records emikono ngifunye ng'omukyala agenda okukola atya kyona kyekiri nanyusedde obudde bwazi videos. Thank you very much for being part or a part of this show today. The music zone definitely with me, Selector Williams live Uganda. We are supposed to talk creative and performing arts. I welcome all of you. Era today nebaza katonda nti CRK Planet bendi nabo in studio bagita Air Records bayina Cocard Media a videography section under CRK Planet as well. They have two bands that, like I've always told you, that is Blue Queens for only female recording and performing artists. They play from jazz drums, conga drums, bass line, rhythm, guitar, lead guitar. They play keys. Female, purely female, younger and energetic, aggressive rising stars under the Blue Queens, still under the CRK Planet. Still under CRK Planet, we have Blue Note Band. That is the mainstream where you find female and male creators and performers. And under CRK Planet, there is CRK events dealing with all events things, and there is talent acquisition and development, managing and etc. That is talent and repertoire as a record label, where we have Flona with her recent release project that is in Kuvunana. The last season okwogera ku CRK Planet lwakuba wenkoledde this video yange yasembyeyo nga njogera ku bintu byaffe bino bya why we fail. I told nabagambye mwe n'abanda babasinzira gye musinzira nti Uganda ina chance, ina omukisa nti abasizi ba sente bajja nnyo wano mu Uganda ate nga bana Uganda. Nabagambye zimu ku record labels ziri mu Uganda kati zirenga zinzo kwa zitano: CRK Planet, Swangz Avenue, ABM, Masters Records, Voices and Beats. What your other record label? Question is, what can we do to make sure that our contribution onto this creative and performing arts is counted, is valuable, is adding value to the industry of creative and performing arts? Kwekusoka okutegeera what a record label is. Record label esukka ku friends getting together after having their lunch and they agree to come up with an organization, an entity to inject money, to push money, to invest in music or entertainment. A record label, I understand, simple definition is an organization, a company, an entity that deals with creating, producing both products and music brands. For products, music in particular, they produce, they create that music, they distribute, they promote. That is a record label. They can do that for their in-house artists as well as other artists who choose to work with that record label. Like you have seen some artists partnering with Swangz Avenue to do their to do distributions on their behalf. It is allowed. A record label, in other words, deals with products, music products, creation, development, production, name it, distribution online and any stores, and promoting that product, music in particular, plus the artists doing the products or music. At record label, ekisinga otusumbuwa wano mu Uganda, ekigambo record label kitwanguyira nnyo okwogera nti record label. Naye ebikola record label ne tutabikola. And there are two types of record labels. There are major record labels who have or which have subsidiaries, record labels who have sub labels or sister labels or branch labels, better that way. You'll find a record label, a major record label, having other record labels across the globe. That is the first category. Buli woloza record label. So kawebuze gwe wakola ki? Gwe wali ojja okukola CRK Planet, gwe wali ojja okukola Voices and Beats, gwe wali ojja okukola ABM, gwe wali ojja okukola Swangz Avenue, gwe wali ojja okukola Masters Record, wajja kukola ki? Record labels majorly across the globe zina ebiti bibiri, major record labels. Yeyebeera ntujja kusanga Warner Group ngeina other record labels, osange Sony Music Group ngeina other record labels and branches in all continents across the globe. You'll find, because big cities are Warner Group, Sony Group, another one is Sony Music njogedeko, Universal Records. So bolwaki bagamanga Universal Records, because buying other record labels. So Katonda afudde asinga. Nti bechi abagambisanga nti Gundi Records, because they had or they have sister labels. That is why they say Universal Records, Sony Music Group, because a group of other record labels, other big companies that create, produce, develop and distribute to promote music brands, as in artists, and music brands in terms of products. So when you come up to put up a record label, just understand, are you for a major record label that is going to give birth to other labels under the same focal umbrella? Another category is the independent, but nazita indies. The independent record labels are those labels that are single. Nga yo ejja nigamba fe batuyita Spoon record label, Folk record label, Saucepan record label, Standalone, simple as that. It is always until after some time, after stamping their foot firmly, and they choose maybe to have branches of that same label. But other labels, Def Jam, Interscope, RCA, zili under the three big, the three giants of music labels across the globe. That is Warner Groups, there is Universal Groups, there is Universal Records, Sony Music Groups. Chovora walawo Sony Africa, Sony G&D, Sony baina bungi oba chenjogera on ali independent yakola kantu ke kalibwe kati naye bali abali major. So two categories of record labels. One, the major labels is with giants. If you happen to go to New York, oba California, ujja kulaba ng'oguzimbe gonna okuwanvu abasajja bagwetikka, aba Universal Music, aba Warner Group, aba Sony Music Group, nga bagwetikka, major label. Some record labels have music universities, have music auditoriums, domes, arenas. As a record label, major one. They have production houses. So I'm not kind of trying to intimidate you, but just to have your attention on the fact that there are two categories of record labels across the globe, at least according to the information I have. And I've said major labels are those record labels that have several record labels within that umbrella. An example I've given you: Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, Warner Group, Sony, Universal Records and Sony Group, and Warner Group. Indies or independent record labels, there's a small and medium enterprises. Kakati mu Uganda fe tuyina ki? Owa Swangz yaggulawo ki? Independent yaggulawo major record label. Katuve ku ekyo. Record label katuogere ku level ya what we majorly have in Uganda. A normal record label. An ordinary record label. In Africa, abasinga bakola nnyo record labels for only artist management. When you happen to read about record labels and how they work or how they do their business, you'll find that some record labels in Africa major so much into artist management. That is artist and repertoire. Repertoire is production that is performed by or sold, any product by the artist. Go with a repertoire, especially for performance. So artist and repertoire abasinga jibafaake nnyo. Era olugaba nzigudewo record label nsayininze ne gundi. But record labels ought to have to do more than artists and repertoire. That's why I said in the beginning that you can be a record label as much as you're producing music and promoting, doing distribution for your in-house talents. You can as well collaborate, liaise with other labels or other artists through memorandums of understandings. A record label erina okuba ng'esukka ku a management team that does business and promotion for an artist. A record label, if you choose to go for talent acquisition, development and management, doing repertoire and etc for that artist or for those individual artists, you need to have small umbrellas or sections that are responsible for the development. First of all, for those sections that are supposed to be responsible for sporting talent, to acquire talent acquisition, sporting, acquire the talents, develop, build them into stars. Both talents and their products. Kati, lwaki record labels ziremererwa majorly in Africa? Zijja nezikirabanga ekyangu. Okusayininga obusayininzi mani dogo, yero jerikani, chikopoli, DJ Chipale, Raga Mapambere. Nini beerabira nti talent alone cannot make a record label successful. Talent alone can never make a record label successful. Music or repertoire or products cannot alone make a record label successful. Equipment, having an audio studio, having a videography section, having etc cannot alone help you be successful until up to when you employ the right human resource. Appropriate bane okuwerera abaana mu byalo. Oluzungu erundwagalira we lugendera. Relevant and appropriate human resource that understand thoroughly the business of entertainment. Entirely, not music alone. Because you cannot be a successful record label when you don't benchmark other entertainment sections. Because music is an art. but there are other forms of art that feed the entertainment arena just much as music does. Kati gwe bokola record label nze music ndi wakabi kimanye nti on top of your music that you're producing, first of all, if you're Sarake Planet, there is ABM, there is Swangz Avenue, there is Master, there is on an East African level, there is Wasafi Records. The other side, there is Marvin, there is that record label for Wizkid and many others. Toliweka mchisawe. Neyate what they toliweka in terms of record labels as competitors, there are other forms of art. Bobo vuganya nabo. You music as an art, you are a pipe that flows towards the entertainment arena. The guys who do stand-up comedy, they as well a pipe that flows towards the entertainment arena. The drama actors, the film guys, a lot of forms of art feed the entertainment. So now in record label, what's the feeding of that entertainment arena? These days, the entertainment, especially during this new normal brought about by coronavirus disease 2019, entertainment is just unpredictable, especially when it comes to digital and online marketing, promotion, distributions, and etc. So what you ought to do, thoroughly study the human resource that you're going to bring out to get at this industry. And not all record labels will employ the same approaches by other record labels. You cannot say Swangz we should also do like Swangz, how Swangz Musiarake Planet baba akola but nafe but what call about ABM or Masters. No, it doesn't work that way, because at the end of the day, under the same continent that is Africa, abantu are consuming products of a record label differently. For example, in Tanzania, where WhatsApp is the big giant, internet is low in terms of subscription. No, subscription. In Uganda, ewajjajja musajja owe Djibouti, internet eri kubusere. Up to now, some people are using virtual private networks, that is VPNs. Katulina kimanya nti yo wa Wasafi nalabye omuvubuka ono Konde Boy Harmonize nga tadde oluyimba ne Awilo Longomba 50 minutes nga luli mu mitwalo gy'otamanyi audio. In Congo ojja kulaba oluyimba lwa Koffi Olomide lwe yatadde ne Sabrina Walolala Chipanda lwe yatadde bane basajja bali bakubendongo. Kati bo internet yabwe bwo comparing ne wana ate ne population yabwe nebirala. So kati goyina kubala music wa Uganda, demographic, what are the habits of the demographics that consume music, that consume entertainment? So I'm majorly talking to you, the people who consume music products, music brands, and entertainment in general, and you people as well, who produce, who develop, who acquire the talents, who develop, who build them into stars, and with those talents you promote and push your music products or entertainment products or services. And ozibera service kusoma katonda abana mbawere. So my point in this episode is to tell the record label investors in Uganda especially to get out of their slumberland and understand that this business is tricky. That's what many have tried as much as possible to put up record labels, but they have failed just because the human resources that are handling the record labels don't know what exactly they're supposed to be doing, and most of them concentrate on two artists and repertoire, which is a very wrong thing. The artists were failing record label. In this episode, I'll majorly be on artists and repertoire. A record label, take a home. Yandibadde ne niche. Yandibadde that uniqueness in terms of what they produce and in terms of who they are producing that thing or service or a product too. For the peoples you for the people you're producing music brands, music artists, consuming that niche. Under artists and repertoire, there is business, development, and guidance. You develop your business under that record label and you guide that business. There is career development and guidance. There is talent development and guidance. Kati bibulikanga bifanagana. Business nti enange eno weeri tumaze ogiteekawo in terms of business as an equipment, as a social capital. Tetugenda okuteekawo enange eno yo weeri in terms of business. Then there is talent egenda okuba enange eno. Bwemala ogikuba nti ekuba nnyo tubitegedde naye tugaidinze tutya talent yo career yono. A talent is playing keys. Business goes then otekawo equipment ne working environment ne infrastructure business wise. You bring the talent that plays the key board, and that talent has to have a career. You saw your development, you you develop that your business, you as well develop the talent within a business of entertainment or music in particular, as well as the career of that talent that is under the business. Watch kenga mbweji William onkubire entenze tokyasobola na mbogo ninga byozibalula. Melody yabo nakedde na so bwomala okutegeera the kind of talents you have in Uganda. We have failed in some cases ne Africa in general. Mumina record levels mutamanyi ziri ya Angola, Namibia, Ghana, Cameroon, Senegal, Ivory Coast zagwada balina ebyuma babibikako n'obutambala because they come with excitement n'olujanja lw'omukyalo ekafumwe waffe mawokota with a lot of okuchamuka nakutwala Ghana, nakutwala Cameroon, Cape Verde, nakutwala Madagascar. You cannot have a record label where you don't have a research section. Ebyo tujja biraba naye today we are on to so much actually. Even when you're still dealing with the talent acquisition development under the repertoire and artist management, olina kimanya nti wetaka research. Abantu baba bata record label banya albums abalabada extended plays abalabada jukira nawe mu hotel omo. These days Ugatunes came, the organization or entity that is intending to positively in good faith to begin buying the products from the artists, from the record labels, giving them some cash, and Ugatunes does distributions on their behalf. But as a record label, you need to thoroughly study, analyze, and understand copyright. Under copyright, there is a lot that confuses a lot of people. Under production copyright, there is composition, writing, arranging, actually writing, composition, arranging, copyright. That is the writing copyright. But under songwriting, there is someone who puts up or puts together the literature, the writer, the composer that deals with the musicality, the geography, and immediately after, or even before the section of composition is done, it is where the gentleman or lady that is responsible for arrangement comes in. So that is writing copyright. There is recording copyright. So 2 arrows under the production copyright. As a record label, you're supposed to understand that. Nga tonachamuka kuleta malo gwe wa manyambu mwasala lwera. Under distribution of performance, there is moral rights of that was ewa by Luciana Mubulu. The bass line was done by Kofi Olebide, rhythm guitar by Papa Wemba Julius Penechukumba, lead guitar by Diblo Dibala, drums by Awilo Longomba, mixing mastering by Manulima in Studio 1 in Faras. That is moral rights. Acknowledging people who put up, written by Alusma Bere, background vocals by Kanda Bongo Man, especially during the days of Loketo Band. It used to be a team of many. Kofi Olomide on bass, Awilo Longomba on drums, rhythm guitar Papa Wemba, Diblo Dibala on lead guitar, and who else? Kanda Bongo Man so much into background vocals apart from the solo project he had. Alusma Bere lead voices until when also Diblo Dibala chose to be in that line of front line. But if you look at moral rights, distribution rights, kati mu distribution rights ezo yugatunze yeze nagamba nti mutuwe distribution rights. Kati yonga ngatenda kugulako distribution rights, ndowooza nja kujja kusukuongerawo olulala bigenda ba confusing. Yes, nti gwengozenga Ugatunes to get distribution rights from Shiba Karungi or Spice Diana. Spice Diana yino kubanga yakanya ne Digibawa nga producing during the recording process, because while you recording and writing copyright, kukuandika Johnny K, Nava Gray, what other good songwriters, Jamie Culture, bono bwembala kuandikira oluyimba waliwo copyright yawo gye mukanya ku memorandum of understanding bichi nkwadde olukusande batugabana at this percentage. Then ku recording oli recording a sound Digibawa, Padman, run on this one, producer Wani, Eno Beats, Nesimu, Pana Beat, Brian Beats, Remix. Na yemu yino kubanga mwakanya. Lala copyright wetambula. As a record label, you need to have someone as well be moral rights, especially for radio stations. It is bad to play a song by Shiba Karungi and you fail to acknowledge the fact that she's the artist for that song. Artists should stop going on and perform other people's works without requesting kindly for permission, performance permission, reproduction copyright. Oluyimba lufulumye njagala duddamu. As a record label, oyino bango ina chovola nti ku body yamwe mubako n'omuntu that is responsible for legal matters and etc. Record labels in Uganda, ABM, Masters Records, Siarake Planet, Voices and Beats Records, and Voices and Beats. The moment you say Voices and Beats Records, you have other record labels. Bobali aba Sony Music Groups, Warner Groups, Universal Records, kyebali bategeeza. Kati ffe twabisanga Kampala nga tuve mu kyali kafumu. Ne weyita Khan Records. Naye ng'olina studio emu. Thank you very much for being part of this session. Like I told you in the other episode that I'll be coming up to give some highlights regarding how record labels should run in Uganda, especially Zezalect Williams Live Uganda. Pwa! Ciao ciao. Daruli munsi muno. Thank you.